Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about Government 16, which is the meaning of citizenship. The essential question for this are, what are the benefits of citizenship? So the first benefit is membership in the American political system. To participate fully in civic and political life, individuals must be citizens of the United States and residents of their respective state and locality. So when it says state and locality, that's just referring to the state you live in. Like you guys that are turning 18, you'll be able to take part in Virginia elections. You're in Fairfax County, so you can take part in Fairfax County elections. You would not be able to take part in elections in California or Arlington County or Arlington because you do not live there. There's also certain privileges reserved to citizens, which include voting. You cannot vote unless you are a U.S. citizen. Serving on a jury, which we recently covered. It's important because you're deciding if other citizens are guilty or not guilty. And running for office. If you want to be mayor, city council member, president, any of these things, you have to be an American citizen. Now, these are just some shared political and civic beliefs and values. They're pretty self-explanatory. We'll go over these more another day. So another part is citizens, members of locality, state, and nation. American citizenship provides individuals the right to full political and civic participation in the state and locality in which they reside. So this is what I talked about earlier. You guys all live in Virginia, so you can take part in anything that goes on in Virginia regarding politics. You want to vote for senators, congressmen, if you want to vote for the governor, you're able to do that. In Virginia, you cannot do it in other states because you do not live in that state or you do not reside in that state. Same thing with locality. You guys can vote for Fairfax County board members, but you cannot vote for Loudoun County board members because you do not reside there. Certain requirements prescribing the length of time an individual must live in a community can impact such privileges as running for office and voting. So if you want to run to be senator of New York, you have to live in New York. You can't. Sometimes there's even rules that you have to live in Virginia for maybe 10 years if you want to run for governor. You can't just move to a state and run for office right away. Lots of times you have to live somewhere for a certain length of time in order to run for a position in that state. There are some privileges of citizenship that can be denied for certain crimes. So there's certain states where if you ever committed a crime, a felony, and went to prison, you're not allowed to vote. Like if you murdered someone, you get out of jail, it's possible you can never be able to vote again. Some states allow people to vote, whether or not they committed crimes or not. Some states like Virginia, it depends on the crime. And other states are very strict. If you committed any crime, you cannot vote. If you are not a citizen, you can become a citizen in the United States. Non-citizens gain citizenship through the naturalization process. And Congress determines the requirements for citizenship. Not the president, not the Supreme Court. Congress determines these requirements. And right now, the current requirements for citizenship include the following. A period of continuous residence in the United States. So for the most part, you can't just move to the United States and become a citizen within a couple weeks or a couple months. Usually you have to live here for so many years, and then you can become a citizen. You have to have the ability to read, write, speak, and understand words in ordinary usage in the English language. So the reason for this is you do have to take a citizenship test. A lot of the documents, they're all going to be in English, and so you do have to have the ability to read, write, speak, and understand words in ordinary usage in the English language. Now, you have to have belief in the principles of the Constitution. So you have to believe that there's equality for everyone. People have the freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom of speech. Okay, that you have to remember. Freedom of speech means you have to believe that people are allowed to speak their mind, even if they do not agree with you. And a lot of people do not agree with each other, but that's their right. They have free speech. There are other requirements for citizenship. One of them is good moral character. So I mean, if you come from another country and you've had past convictions in the past for certain crimes, it's going to be hard to be a citizen. If you're trying to become a citizen in the United States and you have like gang affiliations, and they know about it, they're probably not going to let you be a citizen. You have to have good moral character. There are differing requirements for citizenship. So requirements to obtain citizenship are not the same for all applicants. So, for instance, I'm going to have to double check what the policy is today, but if you were an immigrant, you graduated from high school in the U.S., and you decide to join the military, sometimes you can become a citizen easier. You may not have to take the test, but joining the military is one thing you can do. But you could also be a spouse of a citizen. For instance, let's say I'm an American. I didn't, but let's say I married someone who was Canadian, or I married someone who is from Mexico or Colombia. They would have a different process to become citizens than any random person from, let's say, Jamaica who comes to the U.S. and tries to be a citizen. So there are different requirements for citizenship based off certain things. All right, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. And this is really our last unit toward the end of the year. I do have one more joke for you guys. It is, why was the koala bear not hired for the job? The reason why the koala bear was not hired for the job is that he did not have the right qualifications. Ha ha ha.